Okay, good morning. We're going to go ahead and go through the Islamic questions and again use the video to not just answer the questions, but to give you other background information as well. So hopefully you're able to watch it. The first question, describe the climate of the Arabian Peninsula where Islam was founded. And this question was more of a just to get you familiar with where we are talking about. But much of the peninsula is desert. There was a low population and people gathered in the few places where crops could grow and animals could be raised. And I'm going to jump just for a moment here to a map. If you take a look at this map, so here is the Arabian Peninsula. Most of it today is Saudi Arabia, but as you know, there's a few other countries in here as well. And you'll notice that there's a collection of major cities along the coast over here. You have a collection of cities on this side, but in the middle, it's a lot of desert. Okay, the cities we're going to be mentioning later of Mecca. Actually, Mecca's right there. Medina and Jerusalem, just so you kind of get an idea of where those places are. And just to give you an idea, from Jerusalem to Mecca, you're talking about 700 miles. Oh, that'd be like probably driving from here and getting to, through the state of Illinois and maybe down a little bit farther, maybe 2/3 of the way down the country. So you're getting to like the top of Alabama and things like that. Okay? All right, back to the questions, which by the way, with the questions today, I don't think I'm going to answer all of them. I'm going to go until I feel like it's a good place to stop. All right, number 2, very important question. The religion is begun by the Prophet Muhammad. And Muhammad is as central to Islam as Jesus is to Christianity. They are the key figure. Now, Muslims do not believe Muhammad to be the son of their God, but they do believe that he is the one true prophet who delivers God's final message. And you're going to see as we go through here that Muslims believe a lot of the same things that Christians and Jews do. They just believe that Muhammad came last with kind of the final words. When Muslims refer to God, they will not use the word God. They refer to God as Allah or Allah. So when you hear that word used by Muslims, it's the same as a Christian saying God. In Jews and Hebrews, they'll often use the term Yahweh. So in all three religions would accept that they are basically they are believing and referring to the same one God. That's one of the things that these three religions do share. Now, some of the issues the prophet noticed. A big one was greed. So as Muhammad looked around at life in the areas where he was living, he was born in the city of Mecca. He saw greed as a huge problem, that the people were taking advantage of the poor. People were treating the poor not as other people. He saw just greed as a huge problem. Excuse me. That was probably the biggest one that jumped out at him. He also didn't like the different worshiping of many gods, idols, or statues. And also one of the things that he saw was people choosing their beliefs to match what they wanted to do, not having a set of beliefs and following them. Judaism and Christian teachings had gotten into this part of the world. So Muhammad actually was disappointed that more people were not following the teachings of Judaism and Christianity. He was very upset with that. Now, according to their religious beliefs, it was in the year 610 that Muhammad has his first revelation. And this begins his teachings. And his teachings are really going to be the new religion of Islam, much in the same way that, that when Jesus began his teachings, specifically his teachings that he was the Son of God and that he was going to give up his life to save people, that marked the beginning of Christianity, a new set of ideas, a new set of beliefs. This was the same with Muhammad. And once at this point he starts sharing what he says was told to him by Allah and by the angels, and his teachings are going to mark this new religion, and basically comes to the people of his area and said, hey, God talked to me and this is what he wants us to do. And the people that chose to believe him began to follow him, and the religion begins to grow and pick up some steam, just like Christianity did. Back when Jesus began his teachings, there were the group of people that believed him and followed him, and the religion grew. Now, Muhammad was from Mecca, and it was in Mecca where he began these teachings, and he immediately became unpopular. Again, very much like Christians were unpopular with governments and Jews were unpopular with governments. And his teachings were unpopular because, first of all, the wealthy did not like his message, making them feel bad for being rich. Again, people don't like to be told that they're not living properly. And the wealthy were the people that Muhammad went after in Mecca. The government, which was controlled by the people of wealth, also didn't like that he was teaching different laws than the government had. And again, this is not any different than what happened with Judaism and Christianity. The idea that there is one God and that is the person you are supposed to listen to. And you can put aside what your government says. That was not very popular with the people. Actually, what ends up happening, Muhammad ends up being run out which basically means the powerful people of the city drove him and his followers away. And this is when he is going to go to the city of Medina, which is actually going to bring us right into the next question. So Mecca is considered the most holy city of Islam. It's the birthplace of Muhammad. And it is where the Kaaba stone still resides, which we're going to come back to in the last question. You have the city of Medina, which was Muhammad's second home. After he gets chased out of Mecca, this is where the religion really takes off. And it is only after he gains his power and gains a following in Medina that he's able to go back to Mecca and get his teachings to take on there. And lastly, Jerusalem also is important, as Muslims believe that Muhammad ascended or went up to meet Allah in Jerusalem. And one of their beliefs is that an angel, actually the angel Gabriel, who appears many times in Christianity and as well, took Muhammad up to heaven, basically up a set of stairs to heaven, to see Allah, and that happened in Jerusalem. So there's a mosque built in Jerusalem at that site. And as you're going to see when we come back from break, it is the shared belief that Jerusalem is the holy city for all three of these religions. All right. I think that's a good place to stop today. Tomorrow I'll come back and we'll talk about what Judaism, Christianity, and Islam share specifically. And then number 10, the 5 pillars of Islam. So we'll do that tomorrow, but that's enough for today. Okay?